The very first verse of Psalm 121 sets the tone not just for the day, but for the life of every believer who desires to walk in God's strength. If I lift up my eyes to the hills, where does my help come from? This is not a question of despair, it's a declaration of direction. The psalmist is not confused, he is conscious. Conscious of where to look when the heart is heavy. Conscious of where strength is found when burdens feel unbearable. We live in a world that trains us to look around before we look up. When you wake up in the morning, what's the first thing you see? A phone screen? News headlines. A schedule packed with meetings and responsibilities. The temptation is to ground your outlook in the visible, your bank account, your health report, your social status. But Psalm 121 calls us to something higher. It calls us to lift our eyes. That's not just a physical act, it's spiritual posture. To lift your eyes is to intentionally take your gaze off of the temporary and set it upon the eternal. It's not denial of your problems, it's realignment of your perspective. The hills represented danger, uncertainty, and unpredictability for ancient travelers. Yet the psalmist chooses to look toward those very hills and declare, "My help comes from the Lord, not from the hills, not from the weapons he might carry, not from the strength of his legs or the speed of his escape, but from the one who made the hills, the creator of heaven and earth." When you begin your day looking up, you are telling your soul who's in charge. You are reminding your spirit that the same God who shaped the mountains is the God who orders your steps. Starting your day with your eyes lifted means refusing to be overwhelmed by the chaos you see around you. It means choosing worship over worry. It means letting God define your outlook before the world defines your direction. You don't wait for strength to come, you look to the source of strength and he meets you there. Lift your eyes, not in fear, not in doubt, but in faith that the one who watches you never sleeps, never fails, and never loses sight of you. Psalm 121:3 declares, "He will not let your foot slip. He who watches over you will not slumber." This is not poetic exaggeration. It is a profound truth for every believer who has ever felt unsteady, uncertain, or unsafe in their journey. In a world full of instability, where news breaks by the hour, where health, finances, and relationships can shift in a moment, this verse is a firm place to stand. God is not simply aware of you, he is actively watching over you. He is your keeper. The word keeper in the Hebrew carries the meaning of one who guards, preserves, protects, and attends. It is the image of a watchman standing on the wall, eyes wide open, unmoving, unwavering, never distracted. Unlike human guardians who grow weary and require rest, your heavenly keeper never slumbers. He doesn't doze off when you feel forgotten. He doesn't miss a moment when life surprises you. He is constant. He is alert. He is faithful. Many try to keep themselves through intellect, planning, or self-protection. But there will always come a time when your strength is not enough to keep your foot from slipping. That's when the promise of this verse becomes precious. Your foot may stumble, but it will not slip beyond his reach. He steadies you not because you are always strong, but because he never ceases to hold you. This care is not passive, it's not general, it's personal. God is not a distant supervisor looking down from the clouds. He is a present keeper walking alongside you. In fact, the psalmist repeats this truth again and again throughout the psalm. Verse 4 says, "He who watches over Israel will neither slumber nor sleep." In other words, God is not watching over just the world or the church at large. He is watching at you. He is your keeper, your personal protector, your daily guard. You may not see him with physical eyes, but his keeping power surrounds you like a shield. He keeps you in seasons of clarity and confusion, in joy and sorrow, in abundance and lack. When others fail to notice your silent cries or private pain, the keeper of Israel is not blind to your suffering. He watches every tear, guards every step, and surrounds every moment with divine attention. Psalm 121:6 says, "The sun will not harm you by day, nor the moon by night." These words are more than lyrical comfort. They are a declaration of God's uninterrupted, unbroken care over every hour of your life. From sunrise to sunset, from midnight to morning, his presence is not seasonal, not scheduled, and not subject to change. His protection does not come in waves or windows. It is constant, relentless, and complete. To the ancient mind, the sun and the moon represented more than just the passing of time. They symbolized exposure and vulnerability. The sun could scorch during desert travels, bringing exhaustion and dehydration. The moon, associated with the fears and superstitions of the night, was a symbol of the unknown and unseen. Daylight brought pressure, business, and toil. Nightfall brought silence, solitude, and often anxiety. Yet the psalmist proclaims that neither will bring harm, because the Lord is standing watch over his people. This verse covers the full spectrum of human experience. The day can represent the visible battles, what you can see, feel, and understand. These are the stresses of work, responsibilities, appointments, and decisions. The night often represents the invisible struggles, emotional weight, spiritual warfare, fears that whisper in the dark. And the promise of God is this: whether the pressure comes under the noonday sun or in the silence of the night, as you are not unguarded, God's protection is not simply about shielding you from circumstances. It is about preserving your soul in the midst of them. It means that whatever happens during the day, whatever challenge, confrontation, or discouragement, you are not facing it uncovered. And when night falls, when the world grows quiet and your thoughts grow loud, God is still present. He does not clock out when the stars rise. He is not limited by time zones or human sleep cycles.
His eyes are on you when no one else sees. His spirit hovers over you when the world goes dark. While the world may bring changes that feel like shifting shadows, God does not shift. The one who made the sun to shine and hung the moon in its place is the same one who promises that both will submit to his will concerning your life. Psalm 121:7 declares, "The Lord will keep you from all harm. He will watch over your life." This is not a vague assurance of general safety. It is a specific promise of divine protection with intentionality. God's keeping is not merely about survival. It is about destiny. He watches over you not only to shield you from danger, but to ensure you fulfill the purpose for which He created you. You are not preserved by accident. You are guarded because your life carries eternal significance. We often interpret protection as the absence of pain, the prevention of difficulty, or the avoidance of trouble. But that is not what this verse guarantees. The psalmist is not suggesting that we will never walk through difficulty. He is declaring that harm will not have the final word over us. The harm that threatens to destroy will be restrained. The enemy who comes to steal, kill, and destroy will not succeed against the purposes of God. You may pass through storms, but the storm cannot cancel your calling. You may face setbacks, but not one of them can override God's sovereign hand on your life. God's watchfulness is active. He is not reacting. He is directing. He doesn't merely respond when something goes wrong. He orchestrates your steps with the precision of a master planner. He knows what lies ahead. He has already prepared provision for the journey, strength for the battle, and grace for every burden. The path may twist, but His eyes never leave you. You are not wandering aimlessly. You are being led purposely. This is why you have survived things others thought would break you. This is why, even in your weakness, something in you refuses to give up. It's not because of willpower alone, it's because the Lord is keeping your life. He has placed a seal upon your soul. There is still purpose in your breath, still calling in your steps, still promise in your presence. When others overlook you, God sees you. When others count you out, God counts you worthy of guarding. You are not just being protected from what could go wrong, you are being preserved for what must go right. God's keeping is both defensive and intentional. It holds back the harm and holds open the door to your assignment. Every day you wake up, it is evidence that God is still at work in you, that your life is not random, that your journey is not without meaning. The harm that tried to take you out could not bypass the hand of the one who has destined you for more. Psalm 121:8 says, the Lord will watch over your coming and going both now and forevermore. This is not a temporary promise. It is not limited to a single moment of crisis or a single season of life. It is a declaration of God's eternal commitment to His children. The words, coming and going, encompass the totality of life. Every movement, every transition, every step forward, and every return. Whether you are starting something new or returning to something familiar, God is already there, watching, guiding, and keeping. There is a rhythm to life. We rise and rest, begin and end, succeed and stumble. In all of these motions, God is not a passive observer, He is an active guardian. He is not only present in your high moments of praise or the quiet stillness of prayer, He is with you on the highways and in the hallways, in boardrooms and in bedrooms, in the traffic and in the trenches. His watchful eye does not waver as the world spins. He governs your journey with perfect attention. This promise is not bound by geography. Whether you are near or far, familiar or foreign, God's covering is constant. Your steps are not random. They are traced by the one who knows the end from the beginning. He sees not only where you are, but where you are going. He watches over your past, so it cannot define you, your present, so it cannot overwhelm you, and your future, so it cannot frighten you. When others may forget, when friends may walk away, the Lord remains unwavering in His commitment to you. And the psalmist adds that His watching does not stop with the close of one day or even the close of this earthly life. It continues forevermore. That means the divine attention you receive today is not a fading favor. It is rooted in eternity. God's care for you began before you drew your first breath, and it will not end when you draw your last. The covering over your life is not just for today's problems, it is for your eternal purpose. In moments of uncertainty, when life feels unpredictable or unsteady, you can find peace in the truth that God's hand is not seasonal. You are not passing through time alone. From your first cry to your final breath, from this hour to eternity itself, the Lord watches over your every step with unwavering love and sovereign protection.